Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Six-Man Blitz. And in today's video, we have the black and yellow Iowa Hawkeyes going
Yeah,
West
I
to East. Iowa, such a rich program, such a rich tradition, always contending, always. Head coach has been there for 23 years, sending talent out to the NFL year in, year out. But starting off with the predictions. They had a good year last year, 6-2, but I have the Iowa Hawkeyes going 8-4. They do have a tough schedule on them. They draw both Indiana and Penn State from the East Division, and then they have to play Wisconsin, Northwestern, and Iowa State on the road. That's gonna be a pretty tough challenge to handle. And I have them losing all three of those road games. Iowa State's gonna be contending this year. They just beat Oregon and the Fiesta Bowl, so they're gonna be loaded, talented, and back. And then, it's always hard to win at Wisconsin, and you've seen that year in, year out. But then Northwestern, the reigning Big Ten West champs, I had them losing in that game too on the road. It's always a slugfest, Iowa Northwestern. I think Northwestern could definitely pull that one out. But then the first game of the year that I just skipped over, Indiana, one of the most sleeper teams in the Big Ten last year, returning a lot of good talent over there. I had them losing. I know home field advantage is going to be crucial for Iowa this year, as is everybody else, damn near, getting the fans back in the atmosphere. But I just think this Indiana team is really good, so it's going to be hard for Iowa to win. But, I mean, after those first two games, I have them losing. They bounced back Kent State, Colorado State, Maryland. And then they have Penn State at home. I think that is a very intriguing matchup. I think this determines Iowa's season, honestly. This is the make or break game for Iowa. This guy like really good for them or really bad. I have them beating Penn State. Purdue, obviously, come on now. And then as I said earlier, Wisconsin, Northwestern, both L's. After that, I think they go 3-0, Minnesota, Illinois, and then Nebraska, the always Black Friday matchup. But man, this team is returning 14 starters. That's, all right in the Big Ten. A lot of people are returning people because of COVID year, letting them get an extra year eligibility. But this offense should be better than normal or better than last year. Last year, not too well. Had a lot of not returners. So this year, Tyler Goodson, definitely a name to keep your eye on. Running back, he had the most yards as a true freshman. Or true sophomore, whatever you want to say he is.
it's a COVID. Like you never know how old they are with COVID now.
Exactly. He's technically going to be a sophomore, but he had the most yards as a sophomore in Iowa history. He had 400-yard games. This Iowa team should definitely be good. They always have a beefy offensive line, moving those people up front. So expect Tyler Goodson to get some Big Ten honors this year, be one of the best running backs in the Big Ten. And I honestly have Iowa going 8-4 as they do have some hard road games to win, but most of those road games, they definitely be better. But I have Iowa going 8-4.
I have Iowa going 8-4 too, but we don't agree on some of their wins. I have them. I mean, some of the wins and losses. I have them losing to Indiana, of course. Penn State too. I think Penn State and Michigan. Although they were disappointing last year, they're going to be a lot better this year. So I think that Penn State game is going to be a little more scary. And then Minnesota, I have Minnesota beating Iowa. Although they never really beat Iowa, but that's the one game they never win. But I have Minnesota beating Iowa. And then Wisconsin, I don't think that's a game Iowa's going to win. But Iowa State, I know that's a scary game, but because Iowa really tosses that game up, 50-50 sometimes each year. But I don't know. I got Iowa winning that game. And I'm glad you mentioned Tyler Goodson. In 8 games, he had 762 yards rushing. I think he's going to be a 1,000-yard rusher this year with more games. There's going to be 12 games this year now, so not like last year. But Iowa is consistently an 8-4 team. There's like every year, that seems to be their record.
But, yeah, definitely goes death, taxes, Iowa football going 8-4. Like that's the minimum every year.
Yeah, every
75
year.
maybe. That's just Iowa football. I think of average.
But I mean, their schedule. They got Colorado State on there. Purdue's an easy win. Kent State. I don't sleep on MAC teams, but I think that Kent State's going to be a win. And then, like, the last two games, you got Illinois. I think they're going to beat Illinois. And Nebraska, even though some people, we got a lot of people in our comments, you know, the Nebraska, the one dude posted, like, a huge-ass comment.
Yeah.
Detailed as hell. We need to get him on the show.
And he was talking about Nebraska going 9-3. I'm like, get the hell out of here, man.
With Martinez at quarterback?
No, yeah, Iowa does have an interesting, schedule, but they return in Spencer Pratas. I'm not sure I said the last name, but Iowa, they always had decent quarterbacks to get them just far enough that they need. Definitely expect Iowa to go bowling this year. 8-4 is just what they typically hit, and I see them just improving their offense definitely. And I think Iowa football can do better than what they normally do, which is like 7-5. But just 8-4, I think 8-4 is the threshold with tough road games. Hey, but that's all we got for you guys today. Make sure to subscribe to 600 Blitz on YouTube, as we're going to do every Power 5 school, give you record predictions and schedule outlook.